Okay, welcome back. We go towards the next one. I'd like you to open it and read it and summarize it. The next one is the conversation between Frederick and his grandpa Davison, catching up with the past. Okay, I'd like you to read it and summarize this in your own words. Okay, you have 10 minutes to read and summarize it. Hello, John, can you run your camera? John, John, run your camera, please. And Grace, where is she? Grace? I don't see Grace. Where is Peter? I cannot see him. John, is Peter sitting behind you? Peter, are you typing? Are you typing your summary? Type your summary, okay? And send it to me. You have 5 more minutes. I just received Jemima work. How about the other? Okay, Grace. I received Grace work too. You you just learned the lesson before, right? Why don't you apply it the way they write it? Apply it right now. Okay, Jemima's summary covers all key points clearly, right? Grandpa's background, city to countryside, earliest memory, farm life, chores, and special memories at the State Fair, right? At the State Fair, I will let you read Jemima work here. The structure is logical and easy to follow. Okay. The tone is warm and respectful, reflecting the relationship between Frederick and his grandpa nicely, right? However, you can make your summary more concise by shortening some sentences and avoiding slight repetition. You can add a closing sentence at the end of the story or Frederick's reflection, okay? To give the summary a natural conclusion. Can you hear me, Jemima? So respond to me, unmute yourself. You say yes,
Yeah.
okay? And Grace work. Let's see, Grace. You can make it shorter too, right? Or clearer using. Okay. You have clear flow, descriptive details, but emotional connection. You should make it shorter, clearer, user. Variety in sentence structures, mixing shorter and longer sentences. When you mix shorter and longer sentences can improve the rhythm and pacing, okay, helping to maintain reader interest in thought. And when you summarize it, it's a bit long sentences. Okay. Now we go to answers with questions and answer. We have 8 questions, page 51. After you read, John and Peter and Anna, have you done summarizing? Okay, Anna sent me catching up with the past quest. Short, okay? Derek interviews his grandparent. Davidson for school assignments about life in the past, okay? That's a good summary. Here we see here together. This is Anna summarizing. Okay, it's quite short. Frederick, Anna, can you read your summarize aloud, please? So your summary. Read it aloud. Okay, Anna? I cannot hear you. You have to unmute yourself. Anna, unmute yourself. Catching up with the past summary. Can you read it aloud? Cannot hear. Anna, unmute yourself. What's the problem? Oh, it's broke. Really? You cannot read? So, Jemima, can you help Anna to read it? Jemima, catching up.
Catching with the past, Frederick interviews his grandpa Davidson for a school assignment about life in the past. Grandpa Davidson talks about moving from the city to the countryside when he was a kid because his brother has asthma. He remembers studying down the snowy avenue and working hard on the farm with his family. They raised animals, planted crops, and didn't have modern equipment, so they used force to plow the fields. Grandpa Davidson also talked about fun times they had taking their animal to the state fair and winning blue ribbons. Frederick enjoys hearing these stories and can't wait to see the ribbons next time he visits.
Okay. Peter, don't you see that Grandpa Davidson has his brothers has asthma? You see asthma, as you have, right, Peter? You have the same feeling. Do you have any feeling when you read this story? You think of you asthma. So the next one is Jemima. Okay, Jemima. Jemima, can you read yourself summarizing?
John, read it.
John, microphone is not well. I'd like you to read it and then Grace will read her work, okay?
Frederick, a seventh grader, interviewed his 85-year-old Grandpa Davidson for a school assignment about his childhood memory. Grandpa recalls growing up in Philadelphia and later moving to the countryside for his brother's health. Earliest memory riding a sled on snowy roads in winter. On the farm, they raised animals like chicken, cows, sheep, barn, and cats, and cool stuff named Sparky. Family sold eggs and produced, and Grandma helped with chores like plowing, using horse, and caring for animals. He shared how tough he worked was, but the work was, but also recalls fond memories of showing animals at the state fair when he won ribbons and he still treasures. Frederick enjoys the conversation and thanks his grandpa for sharing.
Good. You see, Frederick enjoys the conversation and thanks his grandpa for sharing his part. Okay. We have Grace work now. Grace, you can see Grace work here. Okay. You missed the letter F here of the name Frederick, right, Grace? The name of the main character in the conversation. Okay. The way she described it is thrilled. You should use a active voice, more active voice, Grace. You use passive voice. Okay, Grace, can you read it aloud?
Frederick is thrilled to see his grandpa visiting and asked to interview the school someone about childhood memories. Grandpa agrees, and Frederick takes out his notebook. The two settled into a conversation in the kitchen. Grandpa recalls moving from Philadelphia to the countryside when he was 6 to and helped his brother's house. His earliest memory is sledding down a snowy avenue, which was especially fun with the lack of cars during winter. He also fondly remembers the huge dog, Spartacus, who was sometimes hinged to a sled for life. Such to the children's delight. As the interview continues, Grandpa describes life on their farm, where they raise chickens, cows, sheep, and even sold eggs at the end of their driveway. His chores included plowing fields with horses before they had a tractor and caring for the animals daily. Despite the hard work, he enjoyed participating in the annual state fair, studying when his family's animals often won blue ribbons. He tells Frederick that those ribbons symbolize years of dedication and promises to show that during his next visit, Frederick and transformed his next visit. Frederick thanks his grandfather, and looks forward to learning more about
Okay. So now we go to discuss, answer the questions of the catching up with the past. We have 8 questions here, right? You can see 8 questions. Question 1. Why does the author set the character's name in boldface? Easy. Question 1. Who can answer this question? If you don't want to say, I like someone to say it so it will be faster. Answer the questions. Why? The author sets the characters' names in boldface to make them stand out clearly in the text, right? Easy. Have you easily identify who is speaking? Right. Or being referred to? What else? What do you think? It keeps the story organized. Do you think so? It keeps the story organized. Right. Have you to follow the conversations and track different characters, right? Okay, question 2. Question 2. What is the purpose of having some words set in regular font and some words set in italics. Jemima, Grace answered regular font shows what the characters are saying out loud. Italics are used for stage directions or descriptions of actions, like when Grandpa paused or laughed. The action right here, pause. It's to describe the actions. Chuckling. Chuckling. Okay, you know chuckling, right? Chuckling. Or this one. How about this one? Frederick enters the kitchen and is pleased to discover that his grandfather Davison has come for a visit. Describe the actions of the characters Frederick and his grandpa, right? To explain, how about this is in italics? It's a question, right? It's an important thought that they want you to think of before you read their conversation between Frederick and his grandpa, right? What might you learn? Do you think of this question, everybody? What might you learn by talking to others about life in the previous century? You know, now you are in the 21st century. So in the previous century will be in the 20th century. Okay? Before 2000 is a previous century. Have you ever talked? Have you ever talked to others about life in the previous century? Everybody? John, Peter? Peter, you have so many elderly people in your family, right? Have you ever talked to them about the previous century and what you learn? Can you record your memory? Okay. Question 3. Question 3. Why do you think the author choose to present the text in this form rather than using paragraphs and quotation marks? Why? You see, this conversation is a formal or informal. The way he's write it, it's more informal, right? This feel like a real conversation. That you are the audience that sits around or watching this movie. Okay, make the story feel like a natural flowing dialogue or memory sharing, right, between characters. Now, question 4. Actually, the way he choose to present the text in this form also help you to focus on the conversation itself, right? Rather than the complex formatting when you another kind of writing, another style. Why is Frederick interviewing Grandpa Davidson? Why? He's doing a school assignment where he has to interview someone he respects about their childhood, and he chooses his grandfather, okay? Not just that, right? He wants to understand his grandpa, right? He wants to learn about his grandpa's past and family history, right? Question 5. Question 5. We almost finished the lesson, so try to complete it. We end the lesson. We have question 5, 6, 7, and 8. Complete the sentence. Grandpa Davidson's family moved from the city to the country because his brother's asthma, right? His brother had asthma, and they believed the fresh, clean air in the countryside would help improve his health, right? Question 6. Okay, just in Grace answer. Why the other? Don't type your answer. Question 6. Write a short paragraph summarizing Grandpa Davidson's description of yours. Okay, because you did the summary, so you can use it. Okay. Number 7. What relative would you most like to interview? Why? Question 7. Jemima, Anna, Grace, John, Peter, I'd like you to answer question 7 in the chat box quickly, please. My grandparents passed away for a long time when I was young. When I was in the secondary school, I am 14 years old. But my grandpa passed away, and my grandma passed away when I was a fresher in the first year of university. I didn't have time to talk to them much about the past. If you still have your grandparents alive, you're lucky, you are blessed. So spend your time to talk to them, okay? Learn about their past and your family's history. This good. And you, okay. Grace to interview your grandpa. He went to Vietnam War, the Vietnam War back in the day. It would be interesting to hear what was like for him during that time and learn about his experiences as a soldier. Okay, Grace. Actually, my dad, he was born in 1949. And so he experienced the Vietnam War too. I listened to his story. Uh, he's he was a brave man. And I also listened to my mom too, the story when they were young. I asked them story when they met, how they met, and the way they fell in love and got married. How did it happen? You can ask your parents, your grandparents. about the past. Okay, and have shared memories together is a fun and meaningful way, right? You can write 3 questions that you would ask your relative in an interview, okay? And then I like you to make an interview and record your interview with the relative that you are wanted to, okay? You write at least 3 questions and record it. You can share, after that, maybe you will have an interesting story based on the conversation you have with your relative, in the future. Maybe it's a masterpiece that you will create for the next generation. Record memories and important things for your daughter and your son, or not just daughter and son in the future, but many people who are interested in your story based on the real memory that they have. The question maybe, what question that you write? Can you type quickly 3 questions that you think you would ask your relative? Quickly, please. Just Grace answer. Why the other? Why don't you type your answer? Okay, Grace, what is it like serving in the Vietnam War? How did being in the war change the way you see the war? What is one memory from your time in the military that you'll never forget? Okay. Maybe I will ask my dad what was your favorite childhood memory. Okay, we end the lesson here. Thank you, Grace, and everybody here in the class that you listened. And I'd like you to complete it, okay? Complete all these questions and record your. Bye for now.
Yeah, goodbye, Mr.
Enjoy your meal.
God bless you.
God bless you.